गुड मॉर्निंग डैलस या गुड मॉर्निंग यूएस एंड गुड इवनिंग इंडिया अपना भारत। वो भी गुड इवनिंग दिल्ली बोलता हूँ आप सबको। भारत अन्वेषण कार्यक्रम में एक और बार स्वागत करता हूँ। आपका दोस्त आपको होस्ट राजीव कुलकर्णी। आज का डेट है सितंबर 8 2024। हाँ जी, ऑलरेडी सितंबर में हम लोग कदम रख चुके हैं एंड वी डिडंट नो हाउ द टाइम फ्लू एंड 8 महीने अभी ऑलमोस्ट होने वाला है। हो गए 8 महीने, अभी 9वें महीने में हमने पैर रखे हैं। तो वेलकम टू द शो। एज ऑलवेज हम लोग शुरू करने के पहले ये शो शुरू करने के पहले भगवान को याद करके जरूर शुरू करते हैं। अभी अभी आपने सेलिब्रेट भी किया होगा गणेश चतुर्थी। हैप्पी गणेश चतुर्थी टू ऑल ऑफ यू। लॉर्ड गणेश ब्लेस अस ऑल। एंड आज एक गाना हम लोग इस शिव जी के गाने से शुरू करेंगे, वो शिव जी को याद करते हुए। उसके बाद ये कार्यक्रम भारत अन्वेषण का आप सबके सामने। नमस्ते।
रुद्राय महारुद्राय कालरुद्राय कल्पान्तरुद्राय वीररुद्राय रुद्ररुद्राय घोररुद्राय अघोररुद्राय मार्ताण्डरुद्राय अण्डरुद्राय ब्रह्माण्डरुद्राय चण्डरुद्राय प्रचण्डरुद्राय दण्डरुद्राय शूररुद्राय वीररुद्राय भवरुद्राय भीमरुद्राय अदलरुद्राय विदलरुद्राय सुदलरुद्राय महादलरुद्राय रसादलरुद्राय दलादलरुद्राय पादालरुद्राय नमो नमः।
ओम शिवोहम रुद्रनामं भजेहम।
ओम शिवोहम रुद्रनामं भजेहम।
वीरभद्राय अग्निनेत्राय घोरसंहारः सकललोकाय सर्वभूताय सत्यसाक्षात्कारः।
शम्भो शम्भो शङ्करा।
ओम शिवोहम रुद्रनामं भजेहम भजेहम।
हर 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 महादेव। ओम नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वदाय च दूरे वदाय च नमो अन्ते च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोपवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च।
अंड ब्रह्मांड कोटि अखिल परिपालना पूर्णा जगत् कारणा सत्य देव देव प्रिया। वेद वेदार्थ सारा यज्ञ यज्ञोमया निश्चला दुष्ट निग्रह सप्तलोक संरक्षणा। सोम सूर्याग्निलोचना
श्वेतऋषभवाहना
शूलपाणि भुजंग भूषणा।
त्रिपुरनाशरक्षणा
योमकेश महासेन जनक पंचवक्त्र परशुहस्त नमः। ओम शिवोहम रुद्रनामं भजेहम
भजेहम। ओम शिवोहम
गुड मॉर्निंग और गुड इवनिंग बोलता हूँ आप सबको राजीव कुलकर्णी का प्यार भरा नमस्कार। आज का दिन है September 8, 2024। हाँ जी, मैंने दिल्ली बोला था शुरू में आपको। क्यों मैंने बोलता हूँ क्योंकि मैं आज दिल्ली में हूँ। आज ये दिल्ली से हम लोग ब्रॉडकास्ट कर रहे हैं। आप सबको एक इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक लेके आ रहे हैं। उसके पहले मैं आप सबको थैंक यू बोलना चाहता हूँ, बिकॉज ऑफ यू दिस चैनल एग्जिस्ट। अगर आप ये चैनल नहीं देखते हैं और हमेशा की तरह सपोर्ट नहीं करते हैं तो ये चैनल चलाना बहुत ही मुश्किल है। और हमारे सपोर्टर्स को भी मैं थैंक यू बोलना चाहता हूँ। और सबसे ज्यादा संदीप सदानंद अप्पा, हु इज आवर टेक्निकल गुरु, टेक्निकल जो बैकबोन मैं बोल सकता हूँ। ही रन्स A&V पर्सपेक्टिव, जो ऑडियो विजुअल जो भी आपको इम्पोर्टेंस इवेंट में जरूरत पड़ती है, ही इज द मैन टू बी कॉन्टेक्टेड। ही लिव्स इन बेंगलुरु। डेफिनेटली कभी भी उनकी जरूरत है तो हमें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, या यू कैन लुक हिम अप ऑन फेसबुक या इंस्टा वगैरह में। चलिए आज का ये कार्यक्रम शुरू करते हैं। Wills and trust. In today's fast-paced environment, ensuring your loved one's care is an important decision and responsibility after your passing. Ajay. By ensuring proper wills and trust, you make sure that your family is protected. In addition to the will, which will be used after one has gone, one should have the living will as well, Ajay, which can use in certain circumstances when he or she is still living. चलिए इसके बारे में जानकारी के लिए, इसके बारे में डिस्कशन करने के लिए, इसके बारे में और पता लगाने के लिए हम आज भल्ला एसोसिएट से मिस्टर हेमंत भल्ला को बुला रहे हैं, एंड ही इज गोइंग टू पार्टिसिपेट इन आवर शो टुडे, एंड वी आर गोइंग टू हैव ए ब्यूटीफुल कन्वर्सेशन। बहुत ही मस्ती वाले कन्वर्सेशन रहेगा, बिकॉज आई नो मिस्टर हेमंत भल्ला फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम नाउ, एंड वो एकदम मतलब मजेदार इंसान है और मस्ती भरा हुआ है उनके इसमें ब्लड में, मैं बोलता हूँ। बिकॉज उनसे जब भी बात करो तो एकदम मस्ती से बातें करते हैं और आपको कभी एहसास नहीं होने देते कि भाई जिंदगी में इतने सब चैलेंजेस होते हैं, तो वो चैलेंजेस सब उसको पीछे डालो और मस्ती से रहो और मौज करते रहो। लेकिन फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है जिंदगी अगर मस्ती से गुजारने चाहते हैं। एंड ही इज ए फाइनेंशियल कंसल्टेंट। जस्ट एज ए डिस्क्लेमर मैं बता रहा हूँ, ही इज नॉट एन अटर्नी, ही इज नॉट एन लॉयर, एंड ही इज जस्ट ए फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर मैं बोल सकता हूँ। सो he is going to give certain tips. Then it depends on you how you weigh those tips, how you check on them. You know, आजकल तो ऑनलाइन में तो बहुत ही इजी हो गया है, हर चीज ऑनलाइन में मिल जाती है, बट समटाइम्स यू नीड सर्टन इन पर्सन फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर जो 1-to-1 आपके साथ बैठ के डिस्कस करते हैं। लेट्स वेलकम लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन मिस्टर हेमंत भल्ला फ्रॉम भल्ला एसोसिएट्स फ्रॉम शिकागो, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स। हेमंत जी, गुड मॉर्निंग, कैसे हैं आप?
Good morning, namaste, good evening to everyone. And Rajiv ji, I am very fine, and I am from Chicago, Illinois. And thank you for inviting me here. I'm very excited to come to your show. And when I came to know you are doing a show like this and you are inviting me, I was really honored. I don't have any words to say that. And thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you very much, Hemant ji. I know that you are a busy person, and वो भी Sunday वाला दिन, you know, I woke you up early to participate in this show, and it's not very easy to participate, you know, वो भी Sunday वाला दिन, but you took the time that you want to share what are the interesting facts are engaged in the financial management. That too, आज का topic रहेगा wills and trust, which is one of the most important topic, I would say. But before we get there, first of all, you tell me originally, or you tell our darshakon ko bataiye originally where are you from and how long you have been in the US, and that too in Chicago.
Well, Rajiv ji, again, thank you. And before I begin my talk, let me say everybody happy Ganesh Chaturthi. And that's very precious day today. So coming back on your question and about my background, I'm originally from Delhi. And I moved to United States 25 years back. I came as a software professional and worked in the IT industry for several years. Over the year, I added so many skill set to keep my job, as everybody's supposed to do that. And there was a time come when, after working so long, when green card and citizenship, everything done, and then I'm thinking I'm this industry kind of a feeling stressed out, and I was looking to go somewhere else, do something else. So I was not enjoying that. So, and that thing was going on in my mind, and COVID happened all over the world, and everybody knows that. So in that, thousands of people were laid off in my company, and I was one of them. And at that time, I decided, I think what I was looking for and what I was thinking, so time is, sinking like that way, and universe is telling me, okay, now a door is opening for you, and look something else. So I decided I'll never go back to IT, and I'll look something else. So after looking all the options, and I found out this financial uh, uh,
Plan.
concepts or financial house or whatever you say, I got it very fascinated because I never had that knowledge before. Though being a commerce student, I was never taught how money work, and I don't know there is any subject where they teach how money works. We just all do based on our knowledge, hit and trial basis. We make money, we lose money, but there is formally nobody is educated like that. So I found this subject very fascinated, and I started working in this industry from last 3 years. So this
Excellent.
is pretty much my brief background to you.
Oh, very nice, Balaji, because I know, I mean, there are a lot of roller coaster rides, जैसे हम बोलते हैं,
Yes.
in life, which happens. Just a COVID is one of a very strong example where many had life-changing incidents, and which brought in their personal life, in their professional career, and so on and so forth. As you are also a live example for that, you came from the IT industry and started looking at financial management or financial management planning, that kind of industry. So you run a company, you have a company called Bhalla Associates. Tell us something about that.
Well, Rajiv ji, how it started, like when initially, as I said, I did not have this knowledge, and I used to mingle with my friends, and I thought my friends know a lot about finances. So I kind of tried to not stand in that meeting because I did not have anything to talk. But when I entered in this industry and I started learning it, and once I had this subject knowledge and I started talking with my friends, then I realized nobody know anything actually. So that time I thought I need to spread this message to everyone because people don't know what they don't know. So what coming back, so definitely as an organization, as a company, I had to set up a company also to make it as a professional business I'm doing. So what I see that mostly like everybody is making money, right? Whether from one source or multiple source. And everybody has more or less similar agenda in their life. Like they want their money to be protected. They want
Yeah.
to save their money somewhere. But at the same time, they want to make sure where they are saving the money, it is growing also. And if the money is growing, they are getting proper return also. And if the return is getting, and let's say they need money sometime, they should have a liquidity option also. It's not that their money is stuck now, they cannot take it out. And then they have kids also. They have to do planning for their kids also. Not only that, tomorrow you will be retired. So you have to start planning for your retirement today, not when you are 65, right? So everything is going in everybody's mind. And not only that, tomorrow, if let's say you have some health challenge, so you need to make sure that your something you have, some funds you have taken care to manage your health issues also. And then, of course, people live on credits, like this is a world of plastic money. So then people don't realize how much they are under debt. So they have to control their debt also. So all these things, it just become a financial puzzle for a person. So
Yeah.
that if you think from a person mind inside, if you go in person mind, it's all mumble jumble for that person. That person cannot figure it out how I should balance my portfolio. At what percentage, what money I should allocate where. So that is where I come actually, where I sit down with their family, see their financial portfolio, and see how balanced they are. My whole job is to see if they have done everything fine, well, kudos to them. But mostly what I have seen after my 3 years of experience, majority of people have not planned it well. They are haywire. They think they have done everything. They think, but they don't know actually where they are missing it. So my job is just to find their blind spot, because every vehicle has a blind spot.
Yeah.
The driver cannot see that, rest everybody can see that. So I am that person who can tell that family, sir, you have done everything good and I admire you, but this is the spot where you missed it, and this is your blind spot. I am that person who is watching your blind spot, and this is, if you want to take care, then I can help you, and that's it. That's my job is.
Excellent, Balaji. So फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट प्लानिंग बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. जैसे कि हेमंत जी ने बताया कि भाई there is always a blind spot in financial structure. So, and Bhalla ji, that is Hemant Bhalla ji jo hai, he is there to identify that blind spot for you and how you can manage and get the wealth management in your life. तो ये सब बातें होएगी और विल्स एंड ट्रस्ट की बातें होएगी आफ्टर दिस स्मॉल ब्रेक.
बीवी ना बच्चा ना बाप बड़ा ना मैया, the whole thing is that के भैया सबसे बड़ा रुपया. ना बीवी ना बच्चा ना बाप बड़ा ना मैया, the whole thing is that के भैया सबसे बड़ा रुपया. बिन रुपया तो मिस्टर तेरी मम्मी का प्यार जो पैदा करता तुझे तो कभी न कर सकता मेरे यार. डॉक्टर लौट जाता भी न मिलती अगर तू माँ के पोटे के अंदर पड़ा ही रह जाता हर बार. तो किया जिसने पैदा वो ईश्वर है ना मैया, the whole thing is that के भैया सबसे बड़ा रुपया. हाथ खाली अगर तू मर गया मेरी जान, न अग्नि तुझको छुएगी न धरती ही देगी मान. हद ये है मेरे भाई ये खुदाओं का घर, तेरी दौलत ने बनाया तो हुए खुश अल्लाह भगवान. तू उस दुनिया के खातिर जोड़े जा आना पैया, the whole thing is that के भैया सबसे बड़ा रुपया. एक लीडर को देखो.
वेलकम बैक टू भारत अन्वेषण आफ्टर दिस स्मॉल ब्रेक. सबसे बड़ा रुपया, जैसे कि महमूद साहब ने गाया ये गाना बहुत ही शानदार तरीके से, और उसमें इतना गहरी मीनिंग छुपा हुआ है पूरा मतलब गाने में. एंड वी केयर फॉर मनी, वी केयर फॉर फाइनेंस, बट more than that we have to care for our loved ones as well, how we protect our wealth. इसीलिए wills and trust are very important in life. तो इसीलिए हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं हेमंत भल्ला जी, जो फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर है. फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट में उनका एक्सपीरियंस अभी पिछले 3 साल से ऊपर चल रहा है, एंड ही इज एंजॉयिंग दैट वर्क. वेलकम बैक टू द शो हेमंत जी आफ्टर दिस स्मॉल ब्रेक. तो हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट इज wills and trust?
So, Rajiv ji, before I answer any of the questions or address this topic, one disclaimer I would like to say from my point.
Please, sir, please.
First of all, I am not any attorney or state planning attorney or lawyer or something. Second thing is, when we talk about finances, there are a lot of certification and designations are important. So based on that point of view, now I'm strictly talking from US point of view, because your show, people might be listening from all over the world. So here I'm just focusing my talk only from US audience point of view, because I work in US and I do my business in US. So my knowledge base is only up to US. So first of all, I would not say as a right word for me as a financial advisor or consultant, but to be right word is financial professional. That is what I am. Second thing is, before, as I was talking about, we talk about somebody's finances. Yes, finance is one thing. We will talk about how much we are making, all that thing, where we are saving. But the first thing in US, because the land of US prevails here, whosoever is living here. So first thing is, before we do anything, we want to make sure everybody's will and trust is taken care, because that is the last love letter which a person can write to his family. And if that is not taken care, then that family doesn't know how much that person is leaving a mess after he has left this planet for his survivors, for his loved one. I mean, with all due respect for everyone, everybody loves their family. But if they have not made a will, I'm completely talking again from US point of view. In US, if somebody has not made a will, the state has already made a will for that person. And most of the people are not aware about it. Now, I talk to these families every day. If you see US statistics, more than 50% people at any given point of time, they don't have their wills and trust ready. And when I talk about our community from our origin, I think 80% plus people don't know that. And it is not that they don't have it. Majority of people are in shock when even I touch this subject. They are not even aware that they should have it. It is something like that. I am the first person who is talking this subject to them. And if I ask this question, hey, sir, do you have your will and trust prepared? They say, what do you mean by that? Do we need to have? So coming back from India, because I don't know the Indian laws, but I don't know how much compulsory or mandatory it is there. But here in US, if somebody doesn't have a will, state already provided a will for that family, they may not like that will. Because if state made has a will, they don't know what is your choice. So you know what is your priority for your family. State has made a generic will, because US is land of immigrant. People come from different countries and every state has their own laws. So every state has made their own will. And to surprise to your Rajiv ji, even one state doesn't recognize the will made by other state. So even if, let's say, you live in Texas, I live in Chicago, and there was a time when I was living in Dallas, I was your neighbor, right?
Yes.
So let's say if I have made a will in Dallas, Texas, and now I am in Chicago. And in fact, after that, I moved to Ohio, and then I moved to Chicago. So if I have not updated my will and I pass away, the Illinois state doesn't recognize my Texas state will.
Oh.
They would like to have the will made by Illinois state as per the Illinois laws. So here law gets very complicated in US. That's the one thing I like about US, because law is very strong. If you follow that, then you are always good. But if you miss that, then again, it's a big problem. So because like I was in IT too, people move their job from one state to other state. And if they are not updating their documents and they think they have already made a will, first of all, majority of them don't know it. When they know it, they think we already have it, and they don't know it is not recognized by that state also. So those things are very important. And when we are talking about will and trust, so one thing is that how important it is. See, if you have not put down your last wishes, will is your last wishes. Who will get what? Who will do what? Who should do this thing? So all your who who will do what, who should get this, should be written down in the will. Because if those are not written, then whosoever are the survivors, they don't know what they need to do after this.
Yeah.
And they can do what they are doing based on their choice, not for your wishes. So that's why these documents are very important. And Rajivji, sometimes people ask me, oh, you know what? When I'll die, everything will go to my wife. Well, is it like that simple? You
Hmm.
have a couple of kids, and all you're talking about your finances, but it is not just 1, 2, 3. I ask people, we'll talk finance later on. First, let me ask you how you treat your kids. Like Rajiv ji, if I ask you as a friend, so audience can understand, if I ask you, what is the value you put for your friends? How you treat your kids? Like your money is more important or your kids are more important?
Obviously, it's kids.
Correct? So your kids are even more important than your assets, right?
Right.
So here in US, we'll talk money second subject. Let's talk about a family who has kids who are minor right now. Now, how important is this? Let's say hypothetically, is it possible that an event can happen, unfortunately, where both parents died? Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible.
It is possible. Now, assuming if that thing happened and that family had minor kids, now in US, who will get the possession of those kids?
The state.
State. Now, question for you. What state is going to do? They are going to put those kids in a foster home, right? And it is not a bad thing. State has thought good thing for those kids that they would like to raise those kids. They are not leaving them on street, right?
Right.
But you as a parent, when we are leaving for 30 minutes or 1 hour, if we have to leave our kids to a babysitter, we want to make sure the background of the babysitter, how they're treating our kids. And when we are not here for our life and we are leaving the kids for the foster homes where we don't know how they are growing up, what kind of treatment they will have, who in the right word would think is a nice situation? Compared to if that person has already made a will that if that incident happened, my brother, my sister, my father, my mother, whosoever you feel, they can raise my kids. Compared to if that was not there, state has taken the kids. That's
Correct.
a big difference.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not saying the family cannot go and fight the court and get the kids. But Rajiv ji, think for a moment. If that person would have taken a couple of minutes of his life and would have written a will, in that case, seamlessly, everything would have gone and taken care. Those kids would have gone in the possession of that family person.
Absolutely.
But for the same thing, now that family has to go to the court to fight it, prove it, they are worthy enough to raise those kids, and court will ask all kind of questions to check their financial, to check your interest, and then they are going to hand over if they win the case.
That
So
is
the
true.
simple thing could be complex just because of the absence of that document.
That
So
is
let's
true.
forget about the money part. That is subject too. That's the very first thing I would say that. How important you think as a parent if it happens on your love?
Absolutely. I definitely think it's very important that, we have to spend those few minutes and write this will on, our family or in their favor if something happens to myself or, whoever is a person who is a parent of those kids. And definitely it is absolutely important. I think it's absolutely
So
important.
this is to answer your question. Second thing is sometime what happened when even at that time, like we recently saw COVID, a
Yes.
lot of people who were on ventilators, right?
Yes.
And at times situation happened when somebody's now COVID is one example because I have seen so many people when they were on ventilators or they were in hospital, they were calling that time to get that document done, will and trust.
Mhm.
They had the entire life in their hand where they never thought to create these documents. But now they know they are close to going to God. They are on their deathbed. Now they're asking them to get their will and done while they are in hospital or on those beds. So think for a moment. Now I just touch one subject. If some family has a minor kid. Now, extreme case. Now, let's say, is it possible, Rajivji, somebody could be in that situation because of some accident or because of some medical situation, that person could be in coma or he could be unconscious for a beyond reasonable period of time. Is it possible?
It's absolutely possible. And
Now,
recently we saw the similar situation happening to a family.
happening to a family. Now, in that case, now think again, I will put it as a scenario. If you can, I can paint a picture. Now, let's say somebody is on that situation, either that person is on ventilator, right? And after a reasonable time, what doctor will do? They will have a family meeting of all their close people. And the
Right.
doctor will ask from that family, please let me know what should I do with your loved one, because medically, his heart is pumping because the machine is on, but this person is actually vegetable. If we remove the machine or switch off, he's not going to survive, right? So, and we don't see any hope he's coming back either. So
Right.
what you want to tell us, what should we do? Now, in that case, again, Rajiv, you think, let's say if this situation is on you, why am I asking you? Because I'm talking to you as an example,
Absolutely.
so that we can
Absolutely.
have a good thought
Conversation. Yes.
audience,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
think for a moment. Now you have the family where you have 5, 10 close people, right? In your family. And doctor is asking you as a head of the family that, Rajivji, give me an answer. So then we can go to the next step. Now, in your family, let's say there are a couple of people. What do you think your answer will be? Yes, no, or don't know?
Right now, it will be no, because we love our family more, right?
Right.
So it will be like no. And then, because if there are multiple people in the family, then the next question would be like, we have to discuss with the rest of the members of the family.
Right. So
Yeah.
what would be the consensus at Adam? What will be the one voice for all the family members?
It will be right now, no.
But at the end,
At the
no.
end, yes.
It means you are saying no. It means that person will still on ventilator for how long? Next question.
Yes. That is the time when we decide, when the vitals or the other organs will start failing. At that moment, we start thinking that we need to talk to the doctor and we need to take certain proactive action, before something goes further, out of control, I would say.
So Rajiv ji, I had a personal experience, and I had a very big case which I know happened in United States. But majority of time, what happened? Because I gone through that personally in that situation. When you have couple of family members, when doctor is asking you a direct answer, so you know what happened? Certain percentage of your family member will say yes, and certain percentage of your family member will say no. You know why? But certain percentage of the family member who are saying yes, they are thinking logically, because doctor said he's not going to survive, our organs are failing, so we need to take this step. And they will say, okay, that makes complete sense. But the certain percent of the family will think from
Insane.
heart.
Yeah.
Heart. They will be emotional because either somebody's mom, dad, brother, sister, daughter, son, somebody. And they'll say, well, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe couple of weeks, and we coming from India,
Yeah.
So सत्यवान को तो वो वहां से यमराज के वहां से भी ले आई थी वापस, राइट? तो यहाँ पे क्या पड़ा? आपको क्या पता? डॉक्टर तो कह रहा है कि अभी मैं रिमूव कर दूं. No, we can wait for a couple of more weeks.
Right.
Now when this kind of situation will happen, so the family will not be able to give a concrete answer to doctor, neither yes nor no. So what will happen? That person who is on the ventilator, that poor soul is just there.
Yeah.
For no reason. None of that person fault. In this case, now because family is not able to decide anything. And Now, if I go, I just paint a picture. Now, how messy it could be? Could you even imagine?
Yeah.
How long you think the doctors and the hospital are going to keep that patient there?
Right.
If that, because both are not agreeing.
Yeah.
Because if Rajiv, you said, yeah, I am convinced with doctor, then your family or your wife, or they say you are heartless, right? You are
Yeah.
just thinking logically. They will put you as a black sheep, as that you don't love that person.
Yes.
And you will think, what did I do wrong? I'm just saying because it makes sense. But
Yes.
if you did that decision, you and your loved one are not going to talk after that. You will not have a good life after that. You will be totally two different person. You will be like different angles after that. You say, no, no, no,
Yes.
no. One time doctor said, you immediately agreed on that. And Rajiv ji, I will actually share a true case which happened in US.
Okay.
One lady was on ventilator, and after some time, in-laws and husband, doctor said that she's not coming back. And what should we do? Finally, husband, like you said, they convinced, okay, logically it makes sense. Okay, please remove her from the ventilator. Okay.
Hmm.
Moment husband gave this decision, the in-laws did not agree. They said, listen, she's our daughter, right? For you, probably it might be easy. For us, it is not, right? So no,
Right.
we don't agree on that. And what happened? It just become messy. It went in the court. It became a legal dispute. And
Wow.
guess how long it went? I was just
Wow.
asking you how long it could go.
Probably 10, 20 years. I don't know.
Rajiv ji, it really went 15 years.
15 years. Wow.
15 years, and it becomes so high profile case. It will happen in Florida. The lady name was Terry Shower. And then it went to Supreme Court in US twice.
Wow.
Course, what they will do, they simply say, no, well, this is the situation, remove it. In law, you can pull everything. They just again reappeal. Again, it went to Supreme. They said, no, we just pull it, right? Then they
Right.
again reappealed. It went to President George Bush. He was the president that time. And with the executive order, he says, just remove it, something like that. So that time, and it is last year, 10-year anniversary happened of that lady. And they took the interview like we are talking on radio. They took their interview. That family was still feeling no, something, they just my daughter. So what all that thing could be avoided if that person just have written a will that if I am in this situation, do this with me. Maybe after 30 days, maybe after a couple of weeks, whatever you feel. If I'm not coming back, if I'm in unconscious or beyond a reasonable time, you cremate me, you bury me, or you donate my organ, that entire situation could be avoided if that family and that person has written a will. And in that case,
So,
you don't have to have any moral responsibility. Okay, let us pull the copy of the will of this person, and whatever they said, just fulfill their last wish. That's it.
so,
Done.
so is this called as a living will in that case?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Okay. Because he is
Correct.
still alive and he
Yes.
is giving the
Yes.
consent that
Correct.
under these conditions, whenever these things happen, so these needs to be done.
Correct.
Okay, okay, that's
Correct.
that's very, very good actually. And let's say that if someone just might be leaving some kind of a notes, right? Not without going through the real regular processes and writing, the beneficiaries, right? Okay, after me passing away, this has to go to the beneficiary of my this account, etc., etc., has to go to my wife, my kid one, kid two, kid three, and so on and so on. You just write a note, and if that person leaves, will that only suffice, or do you have to go through the proper, will processing
So,
steps?
so Rajiv ji, again, when somebody is deciding something very important about their life, right?
Yeah,
You're talking about your entire life's worth. You're leaving it, right? So don't you consider it is important for that person to have a proper counsel and made it a proper draft or done it properly? I mean, if you will go to an attorney, as I am saying, even in USA, every state has their own will, right? So
right.
it means if somebody is just writing a paper, right? Now think for a moment. That person thought, now I'm not saying legally this is right or wrong. That's what I said. I'm not here for a legal advice,
Correct,
but
correct.
I'm just thinking from common sense point of view. That person left a note, handwritten note that this thing should go to this person. Okay, that person is gone. So
Hmm.
is there any way he can come back and edit anything, or he can fix his mistake, what he did? He has gone.
Yeah.
And when his family or his survivor are taking that note as instructions how the property should be distributed, or this thing happen, and if somebody who did not get his due share just challenge that in the court of law, this paper itself is bogus, I disagree, I am filing a case against the validity of this paper itself.
Hmm.
Now that person cannot come back. He cannot foresee that this thing can happen in future, right? He thought, yeah, while sitting, I just wrote a paper and everything is fine. But you're talking something when you're not here.
Yeah.
So why to leave with that thing for ambiguity?
Right, right. Makes sense. Perfect sense. Yes, yes.
So that's the
So,
reason. Yeah. So I think person should be that much responsible enough,
yeah, I totally agree with you. And before we get into how tedious of these processes and all, and where these documents are stored, etc., we'll take a quick break and we'll come back again.
Sure.
Oh yeah. We talking about. We talking about. Yeah. That's what we talking about. Yeah. Cash in the left of me, cash in the right of me, cash in the front of me, cash in the back of me, cash me the day for me, cash me the night for me, cash on my mind, making money all the time.
कैश मेरी सांसों में, कैश मेरी आंखों में, कैश मेरे दिल में भी, कैश मेरी बाहों में, कैश मेरे ख्वाबों में, कैश मेरी आंखों में, कैश on my mind, making money all the time.
ये तो सीधी सीधी बात है, चाहे दिन है या रात है, किस्मत अपने ही साथ है, पैसा फेंको तमाशा देखो। ये तो सीधी सीधी बात है, चाहे दिन है या रात है, किस्मत अपने ही साथ है, पैसा फेंको तमाशा देखो।
नशा क्या नशा है ये कैसा नशा जिस पे सारा जहां दिल हार गया।
Cash to the left of me, cash to the right of me, cash in the front of me, cash in the back of me, cash me the day for me, cash me the night for me, cash on my mind, making money all the time.
कैश मेरी सांसों में, कैश मेरी आंखों में, कैश मेरे दिल में भी, कैश मेरी बाहों में, कैश मेरे ख्वाबों में, कैश मेरी आंखों में, कैश on my mind, making money all the time.
रुके ना इधर रुके ना उधर झुके हर सर इसके दर पर रुके ना इधर रुके ना उधर झुके हर सर इसके दर पर ऐसे ना वैसे बस पैसे कमाइयो मौका मिल जाए ना मौका गवाइयो
ये नशा क्या नशा है ये कैसा नशा जिस पे सारा जहां दिल हार गया।
Cash in the left of me, cash in the right of me, cash in the front of me, cash in the back of me, cash me the day for me, cash me the night for me, cash on my mind, making money all the time.
कैश मेरी सांसों में, कैश मेरी आंखों में, कैश मेरे दिल में भी, कैश मेरी बाहों में, कैश मेरे ख्वाबों में, कैश मेरी आंखों में, कैश on my mind, making money.
वेलकम बैक टू भारत अन्वेषण। आपका दोस्त राजीव कुलकर्णी एक और बार एक कार्यक्रम लेके आ रहा हूँ। आज का एपिसोड बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग एपिसोड है। विल्स एंड ट्रस्ट के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं। इतना इम्पोर्टेंट है इस ये चीज लाइफ में। तो अभी जो हेमंत जी ने हमको बहुत अच्छी तरह समझा रहे हैं कि भाई ये क्यों इतना इम्पोर्टेंट है और इसको कैसे आप डील कर सकते हैं, कैसे आप अवॉइड कर सकते हैं जो हादसा हो जाती है किसी के साथ। और जो कई लोग जो ये मिस्टेक कर लेते हैं कि भाई सिर्फ ये एक नोट छोड़ के जाएंगे, ये या तो सोचेंगे कि बेनिफिशियरी अपने बिलॉड के नाम पे छोड़ के जाएंगे तो इट्स इनफ है, लेकिन वो प्रॉपर विल एंड ट्रस्ट नहीं बना पाते हैं। तो इसके वजह से क्या होता है कि जो लव्ड वंस हैं उनको जो है जो भी बेनिफिट होना है या हो जाना चाहिए वो नहीं हो पाता है। तो डेफिनेटली दर्शकों को मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है, विल्स एंड ट्रस्ट के बारे में अच्छी तरह पढ़िए और ज्यादा आपको उसके बारे में जानकारी चाहिए तो bhallaAssociates.com में जाइए, मिस्टर हेमंत भल्ला जी को कांटेक्ट करिए। ही कैन डेफिनेटली गाइड यू, ही कैन डेफिनेटली suggest, or he can definitely give some inputs how you can get this done. Balaji, welcome back to the show after this again a interesting song about the cash and the money. And जैसे कि आपने बहुत अच्छी तरह अभी तक समझाया है कि भाई ये जो सिर्फ बेनिफिशियरी का नोट छोड़ के जाने से काम नहीं बनता है, व्हेन यू हैव ए प्रॉपर प्रोसेस एंड एवरीथिंग इज सेट। लेकिन ये प्रोसेस कितना टीडियस है अगर विल्स एंड ट्रस्ट बनाने चाहता है कोई। तो आज तो ज्यादा हम लोग विल्स के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, ट्रस्ट के बारे में हो सकता है अगला एपिसोड में बात करेंगे। तो ये विल्स बनाने का ये प्रोसेस कितना टीडियस है?
Well, Rajiv ji, you will be surprised. It is very easy actually.
अच्छा।
It's not too difficult. Again, coming back in US, there are a lot of companies are available here. I work with a lot of companies who are law firms and attorneys. They have made this process actually very simple because, see, majority of people, they are every day, their life is very simple. They are either having a job or they are running a business. So their life is going, in certain linear pattern or something. So for majority of families, I would say it's a very, very simple process and it's very affordable, very economical. It's not, they are breaking their bank, right? So, and if I put a time, you can finish that less than 30 minutes. Let's put it this way.
Wow.
Less than 30 minutes. And people keep on thinking in their entire life, I will do it when I will have time. They will never have time. But I'm sure 30 minutes they can definitely take out if they know it will take less than 30 minutes because we are living in high-tech age today. All
Right.
companies have made this process very simple for a family to go through because they know these are the same things. You have a house, you have 2 kids, you have 1 car, you have a small bank balance. You don't have too much stuff. So in that range, 80-90% people fall in that category. So for them, it's not. Unless you have a very big empire, a lot of assets, so many properties, so many different companies. So then it can get complex because then you have to definitely, it is not 30-minute process. You might have to involve a law firm and definitely they will charge a very big money depending on your requirement. And that goes based on your lifestyle, then it's a tedious process for that family. But that percentage is not big, it's small percentage. Many people like you and me, for us, it's 30-minute job. We are done. That's it. It's so simple. And that's one fear factor I'm telling you. First of all, Rajivji, I tell you, people don't want to talk about this subject.
Correct.
Because the moment you talk about will, it is statement people think connected to death. That,
Yes.
when I will die.
Yes,
And people tend to shy away from this topic. No, I don't want to talk this topic right now. I will
Right.
get it. And I have seen people who actually want to make, but they are procrastinating. Even if they know, they are just, I will get it done. It's in my list. But where in the list? It's not on the top right. It's somewhere in the list at the bottom. I will do it tomorrow. And you and me know tomorrow never comes, right?
Never comes,
But
yeah.
it's very simple process, actually.
Okay, good.
For majority of people.
Good. Very nice to know that. And what happened, once you establish the will, where the documents are stored? Is it stored with an attorney or how?
Depending, Rajiv ji, आपने कैसी सर्विस यूज करी है,
Okay.
आपने किस प्रोवाइडर को यूज किया हुआ है. Most
Okay.
people provide the documentation storage, and actually nowadays everybody is on cloud, so you can put it on
Clouds.
cloud.
Yeah.
There was a
Okay.
time when people used to keep physical document, right? And the
Yeah.
attorney's office, and then they
Yeah.
have to go to the attorneys and all that stuff. People keep the copies in their homes, but you can keep copies with your some trusted person also, right?
Okay.
Somebody
Yes.
you know, and you can tell a couple of people like, hey, these are my documents, these are there, or like let's say if you are my good friend and I trust you, so I can keep a copy with you too. Or does it make difference? Because at the end, you are the guy who is going to take care, right? So
Right.
then you should have some access. Or I tell my loved one, this is my documents are stored, or maybe if it is cloud service, I can give you my password or something. So where you can access it in that case, something like that. So there are
Well,
so many places where you can safely store these documents. Today, this is not an issue, you know.
not an issue at all.
Yeah.
So, what about the fees to establish the will? Are those expensive ones or
Again, depending on what kind of services you use,
service?
it
Okay.
could be from couple of $100 to couple of $1,000, right? It
Okay.
could be any range. It could be any range, but definitely I will not encourage or suggest anybody to just go online and just fill up an online form. It is something you are doing a handwritten note. It is something like that,
Yeah.
because you know that Google services doesn't work well. So better use some trusted source, and whatever the service based on your affordability, buy that package and get that thing taken care, which covers all the legalities properly.
So now, what is the difference between wills and the trust?
So a short difference I can say. Here what
Yes.
happens, Rajiv ji, like say somebody has made a will, right? Just to give you an example. Now you have made a will, you are told everything, who will get what and everything.
Mhm.
But that person died, right?
Yeah.
Nobody dies without planning. Okay, I know I'll die on such and such day at such and such time. Before that, I should take care of everything, right? I have
Right.
to pay back Rajiv $10,000. I gave him back. I have to take this money back. Nobody does like this. It just
Right.
happens.
Yeah.
Somebody goes in between like this, right? So what happened? There are a lot of creditors are there who that person owe the money. Maybe your home mortgage, maybe your credit card bills, maybe your car balance payment, right? Something is balanced there. Now that person is gone. He has written everything, who will get what. Now he has a bank account and everything. Now, as a family survivor, they of course can withdraw the money from the bank. They can sell his property. They can do whatever that they want to do. But who will take care of those creditors?
Hmm.
Who will take care of those creditors, right?
Correct.
So again, in US, so what happens, state is involved and it goes in the court proceeding, which is technically called probate.
Yeah.
So it goes under probate processing, and state want to make sure before family get the excess of the funds and the assets, all creditors are paid off. That
Yeah.
makes sense too, because they need to get their money back, right?
Correct.
So now what happened? That is the right process too. But in that process, it can take several months to fulfill all the creditors and to finish all that stuff. So what if it took 18 months to somebody and the family at that is they are in dire need of money and they don't have the access of that, right? So what
Correct.
happened? In this case, to avoid this kind of scenario, let's say if that person, in addition to making a will, has made a trust also, right? And if that person has made a trust, so what happened? Whatever that person owned, he has transferred everything to the trust.
Hmm.
Trust is like a limited liability company, for example. It's a non-living entity. So I
Yes.
can die, but that cannot die, right? So
Right.
in
Right.
this case, what happened? I created, for example, trust, Hemant Bhalla trust, for example, and I transferred everything to the trust, whatever I own. So in this case, I don't own anything. So if I don't own anything, if I die, so definitely state cannot freeze anything or do anything on my name because nothing is in my name anyway. And
Anyway.
trust
Yeah.
is a separate entity. So if that person has created a trust, I'm just giving you one example of a trust, right?
Absolutely.
So what happened? I actually avoided the entire probate processing. So my family can get the seamless access, because in this case, my spouse, let's say, is the executor. I can choose anybody. And let's say my kids are the beneficiary and I am the trustee. So the family has seamless access of my assets and my cash and everything. They are not going in that stuff like unless all creditors are paid, then they are getting the access. So that's
Yeah,
why it becomes a sense, a common sense, somebody to create a trust also. It doesn't make how much money you have.
correct.
That doesn't make, because you just want your family to not to go through that process. Because once you have gone, they are definitely shattered. They are, alone right
Yeah,
now. They need support, and money is a big factor which can support them at that time, right?
right, right.
They will get that seamless. So this is one trust. So there is difference between trust and will. And this is just one kind of trust. There are so many kind of trust. Again, it depends what is your objective. Their
Yeah,
trust is basically just to avoid the probate, but there could be another trust where you are protecting your assets. And
assets.
then trust could be revocable or irrevocable. So again, depending on that family need, what kind of trust you are having and your assets, and then it can cost money accordingly. So that goes in a very tedious process. Again, the attorneys will involve for that. But to give you a simple answer from a layman language, this is the simple definition and difference between wills and trust. So a family should have both, actually.
Very, very well said, Hemant ji. In fact, we are almost coming to an end of the show. 1 hour kaise beat gaya pata nahi hai, and there is so much to talk about wills and trust. And I think we have to continue the same subject in the next episode, because we have just come to from will to trust, and we need to know more about the difference between wills and trust. We need to know more about different types of wills. We need to know more about different types of trust. I think we will have a next episode of wills and trust alone again to talk more on this. तो कुछ मैसेज आप हमारे दर्शकों को आज देना चाहते हैं before we
Bilkul, sir.
end
Because
the
the
show.
topic you touch is very important. So one message I would definitely like to give everyone, and in fact, I will request or urge everyone, wherever you're listening me or whatever you're doing, if you have not made a will, please put it on your top priority. Don't leave it for uncertain things, because life, you don't know what happens tomorrow. Nobody has seen the next moment. So please don't leave it for your at the last point of your priority list. Do it as soon as possible. I would say do it yesterday, like that kind of thing. And if
Correct.
somebody has already made a will, please make sure to make a habit to review it frequently. Because life, let's say you made will a couple of years back, but in those many years, your life has changed. So many things happen in your life. Is your will is current? Because if you have a will, but if it is not current, it is outdated, again, it defeated the purpose of you making the will. So please
Absolutely.
take care of these 2 points. And with that, I'll give my good wishes to everyone. And I hope you got some good information. And if that, I'll be very happy. And thank you, Rajivji, very much for inviting me to your show.
Thank you, Hemant sir. Thank you very much to all the audience out there. And thank you, Sandeep, for supporting technically as always. And we will come back again on the Wills and Trust episode next month. The date will be announced pretty soon. And we will also share the link as well as the poster on this, because these are very important factors in life. And wills and trust, जैसे कि हेमंत जी ने बताया, so make it as a priority in your list to consider to make a will and trust for your loved ones. And if you can definitely go on the site bhallaassociates.com, and you can find Mr. Hemant Bhallaji's contact numbers and also his contact email, so that you can write to him, you can talk to him to get more and more information on the wills and trust. Thank you, Hemant ji, once again, and I wish you all the best and best wishes to you. And we will again connect in the coming month in October and to talk about more on this subject. जैसे कि दर्शकों को मैं बताना चाहता हूँ, Bhalla Associates is engaged not only in wills and trust, but in other financial activities too, which will be disclosed one after another as an episode, so that you are always connected with Bharat Anveshan for the financial matters, because we think that finance does matter and financial management definitely helps. And with that, wills and trust also is an important factor for your life, for your loved ones. With that said, Rajiv Kulkarni will take a sign off today from this episode. और अगली बार इसी टाइम में इसी समय पर मिलेंगे एक और इंटरेस्टिंग एपिसोड के साथ. तब तक जहां पे भी रहिए, तंदुरुस्त रहिए, खुश रहिए, ये बोल के आपका दोस्त, आपका होस्ट राजीव कुलकर्णी नमस्कार बोलता हूं आप सबको. नमस्ते.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.